Okay, the last two sessions have been really, really tough because I've been asking you to take a look at yourself in a way that you have probably never been asked to before. It's a way of asking you to take full-on responsibility for your feelings. And the truth is, in our culture, in a lot of cultures, it's just easier to blame everybody else for making us feel a certain way versus us saying, no, I choose because I understand that as a child I was wounded in some ways, that's left some holes. So when you respond to me in a certain way, it kind of triggers that wound in some way. And my response is what I'm trying to take control over, and I'm trying to take responsibility for. I'm not going to try to take control or responsibility over everybody else in the world so that they don't do this. It drives us nuts and makes us angry. So we are trying to take responsibility for our own feelings and our own emotions and our own responses. So, how do we move past all this into connection? I'm going to give you a model that has worked really well in our house. And I think it's going to help clear up how we can still be wounded human beings and experience really great deep connection. Okay, so we are in kind of the center of our own little worlds, fair enough. And kind of around us are different orbits and kind of places in our life. So here is like a spouse or partner. Super close, right? Right in here. And probably kids right out here. And then friends. And then our boss and coworkers. Okay. Whoever's the closest in proximity to us is going to have the most power to deal with us in our wounds because we're the most open to them. So when they're super close, there's going to be friction because they don't know and we're open to them, but then also our wounds are open and they're going to trigger us. So we got to take a lot of responsibility for that. Part of the way we can do that, like let's just go over when it's our spouse, because that's more adult to adult. We can say to them, hey, I'm really working on my reaction to you, and I don't want to blame you for making me hurt right now, but some words that you've been using are hurtful to me. I want you to understand that there are probably wounds that I have that this is working into, and I'm going to try to heal these, look at these, take care of these, but I need you to try for right now to not use these because I don't think you realize the effect they have on me. And a partner who cares and gets it will say, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And an abusive situation will be somebody who realizes that they have that kind of power over you and they keep doing and doing and doing. And that's not really good. So, somebody is close to us. This can even be like a best girlfriend or a best sister, people who are super close. I'm just going to use a relationship right now because that's easiest. So the next one out is our kids because they bring up our own childhood. So it's another very tender relationship here. And then it's our friends. And they are also in our orbit, in our circle. So at some point, they're going to hit some wounds of us. And then our boss and coworkers, the same. As we try to work on ourselves, the goal is to be able to communicate to people without the emotional responses. Very often, so if we say to like our best friend, you're really bugging me right now. That's still something that's bugged in us that we have to work through, but we can also tell them, hey, I'm trying to work through this. Can you just be tender about this right now and not do it? If they don't listen or they continue on, then we move them from this periphery to this one. And maybe we don't see them as often because they're too triggering. There's too much going on. There's too much happening. If over time they still don't get it, these are kind of called boundaries. And if over time they still don't get it, then we move them out again. And ultimately, they may or may not choose to be our friends, and we may or may not choose to be theirs. So the trick is that the closer in that we get with people, the more we have to understand that they're just closer to our wounds because they're closer to our heart, and that we are going to be more reactive. That means we're going to have to go back to the previous lesson, tend our yard, remember we're the pineapple, and really just look at their actions, right? So if they're just making jokes, but we take it kind of sideways, we can kind of look at that and go, oh my gosh, I think they were just being funny, but this was really kind of hurtful. What does that make me think of? Oh, that makes me think of childhood. I don't feel respected. Wow, okay. Well, what needs to feel respected about this? Oh, well, I'm a pineapple, so I can just respect myself. Okay, maybe that joke doesn't have to hurt anymore. Or maybe they're always joking like that, and right now I just can't take it. So we have a lot of options here. Typically, when this can't be resolved with partners, then there's a separation or divorce. Because you can't live in this orbit super close like this without navigating this kind of conflict. This person also has wounds. It's actually not just this, right? So this person has wounds too, and they're hurt too. So this all has to be navigated, or else they get moved out, separation, divorce. So the interesting thing that happens, which is why I love doing this work, is the one relationship that we cannot really move out of an orbit. We cannot quit on them and walk away and get new kids, is our kids. So our kids are going to trigger us because they are in our worlds. They are close to our hearts. They are in our orbits. And any and all emotional reaction that they cause is our responsibility. Never, never, never do we get the ability to blame them and say, you made me feel like this. You make me think I'm a horrible mother. You, I don't even know. But all of that has to be going back to tending our own yards. We feel like a horrible mother because why? Okay, that's because why? That's not because they make us feel that way. The truth is, when we can learn to tend our egos and we go purely to the kids' behavior and address their behavior through parenting and not deal with all this emotion, not put our emotion on them, not put a drama on them, when we are safe for them to open up, to be great, and we're not blaming, we're not condemning, we're not coming back at them, then we end up with connection. And it's incredibly healing and powerful. Today, I want you to consider who's in your periphery. How are they making you feel? Where do those feelings start and come from? How can you take personal responsibility? I want you to ask yourself, where are the places where you feel like you have to be right? Because that's always an ego positioning to be right. And whether you are right or not is always secondary, especially when it comes to your kids, to connection. We'll continue on these lessons, and I know this is hard, but keep doing the work.